and close the door because you're in the hallway at the moment.
Yeah, I could see that. I was trying to get my head to not look like it's snowing because it's like not even dandruff. So because it's psoriasis, it's just like one more thing, and it's just, you know. It's been, I don't know when I talked to you last because I am so sorry about the other day, but I really, really hope Sarah listened to what I said and didn't just completely ignore me. So basically,
as you right now, so tell me, and then I'll see if I remember.
Okay, yeah, all right. So obviously, I understand able-bodied people obviously don't think like us broken individuals, or maybe not broken, I'll just say complex.
Not a great narrative.
I'll put us in a little bit more complex individuals, yeah? Anyway,
sure.
I had a session with you, and I'm all over the place with my dates and shit, right? But to make everything make sense, okay? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Actually, I think you wrote me a letter. I had to keep getting special consideration, yeah? So for my second assignment, yeah, I had to get the special consideration. I think it was Elaine that wrote the letter. I was just, there you go. And she wrote that, and yeah, so I can't, like I said, have I spoken to you since before or after the exam? I think before, perhaps, maybe.
Before.
Yeah, so
Elaine was going to do a letter.
Yeah, she did, right?
But I thought that was about an assessment.
So what happened was I was supposed to obviously have the second assignment in for the personality report before the exam. But I've literally I crashed, yeah? And in the end, what I needed to do was to get permission to bypass the second assignment and just put it aside completely so that I could then study for the exam, right? And then come back to the assignment with an extension on top of it. So it was all kind of all over the place. But obviously, given what's going on, the uni's been amazing, right? And hands down, the unit chair for this particular unit that I did, probably one of the best, if not the best unit chair I've ever worked with. So I couldn't have asked for a nicer, kinder, supportive person. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It wasn't like I was just asking for a week's extension, because if I had to have done that, I still would have been screwed. I had to ask to literally just say, I'm putting the assignment away. I'm not looking at it for a week so I can do this exam, yeah? And that's some pretty different special considerations. So I'm extremely lucky that they agreed to it, yeah? Obviously the letters and everything helped, right? So what happened after that though is I did the exam on the Tuesday, yeah? And I managed to walk boss afterwards. I managed to have a really decent day. I had the extra 90 minutes, as you know, which I will continue to say I need for my entirety of my university career, because it was only falling asleep last night that I realized what my biggest fuck up was with uni. Couldn't believe it. I told Graham on the video this morning, I was like, it literally hit me last night. And I'm going to say it so that I can remind myself, because as you know, I film these and I watch them. And oh my God, you are allowed to laugh, okay? Because I'm past the point of what a dummy I am. It's just in the no shit live, right? So
I look forward to this, yes.
I should have brought them out.
I'll get my I told you so shoes on. Got it.
I should have brought them out. I was meant to have them here to show you, eh? So I am obviously, and I'm going to assume, and you can correct me if I'm right or wrong, this is an ADHD thing. But so I ended up making the most amazing notes, yeah? Like, probably notes that I'm more proud of than ever. The amount of work that went into my notes, you've no idea, right? Yet. Come actual exam time, now I stopped attending the seminars around about midway through trimester. So, number one mistake, right? I know the mistakes and I'm going to work through them, right? Now, I now have, as we know, a professional note taker. Now, I've had a number of them since it started, and this woman is like, she can get inside my brain, and she writes these notes in a way like, I truly hope to God she gets paid really well. I'll put it to you that way. Like, these notes are like, even on my best cognitive day ever, I don't think I could make notes like this woman, right? Now, as we're all aware, I say things to people that I think. I'm now just like letting people know as I meet them that I'm live and I don't understand this concept of thinking before I speak, so I therefore just think out loud, so you're all going to hear the thoughts as they're being processed. And I say that because I went to Graham's and met his mum and family friends and the whole thing, and this all came out within under 5 minutes, so yeah. But anyway, so the exam came around, and I'd been getting my notes and printing them and putting them in my booklet and doing what I needed to do, and I hadn't paid enough attention. I'm going to blame ADHD on this shit. I feel like there's a lot of things in my life that I can now just be like, fuck you, it's that diagnosis fault. But in all fairness, I'm highly aware of it, which is why I'm telling you and my followers and myself, so hopefully one of us or all of us can get on my fucking... and
could also be, Liv, that most uni students don't give the full attention of what they need to the things that they need all the time, because that's normal.
Yeah, I don't understand normal. I think we're starting to realize this. So I was falling asleep last night and it hit me without a doubt. I did not need to make a single one of the notes that I did, because the fucking exam, because we kept talking about it, even the students were like, how are they doing this? It's only 30 questions. Like, none of us could sort of get our head around it. And then it was like, oh fuck. So I did the practice exam and I was like, I have basically studied all of the wrong things, because it was done in a like case scenario, like these people, like it was all based on like a real life sort of case thing, and then we had to go through, so there was 3 different cases and different questions, and I did get through it relatively well. Like, my notes were helpful, but this isn't the point, yeah? So I got through it. I did second guess myself on a couple, because there was at least a handful, I reckon, that I was just like, it could be this and it could be that. And I've always known that when it comes to multiple choice, if there can always be the option of multiple correct answers, you've got to choose the most correct. But there were a few where I was like, I actually fucking don't know. So I'm winging it based on what I can figure out. But anyway, all's well and good, because I actually feel relatively confident about the exam. Turns out, though, the entire rest of the trimester, like that, I just stopped attending and didn't even watch recordings for, and kind of just feels like it just left my mind. And once I was focused on assignments, it was like, yeah, because everyone around me was freaking out about exams, and I'm like, that's future Liv's problem. I'm not dealing with that right now. You know what I mean? Like, she'll deal with that when I get there, yeah? Living in the now, freaking about exams, doesn't work. I'm like, just got to get one foot in front of the fucking other at the moment, yeah? Excuse me. So, anyway, fell asleep last night, and I realised that I haven't read fucking half of the notes my note lady gave me. I skimmed through them, obviously, and because I continue putting them in booklets, but everything in the last half of the trimester was the whole exam was around it. If I had just read her notes and her notes alone, I would have smashed it out of the fucking park with no problems. And I'm thankfully at the point where I'm able to laugh about it, but now, which is weird.
When do you get your results?
This Friday, the 4th, and I think I'm registered with the text messaging, so they'll come out at about between 10:30.
In the morning?
Huh?
In the morning?
Yeah, it used to be like 6:30 or something on Thursday nights, but they'd keep crashing their stuff. So what happened though, right, is I did the exam, and I was obviously, let's face it, like vibing high to get through this shit, yeah? Like, went straight for the vodka and the weed, I reckon, as soon as I finished. And I did have time to get all the way through it again, which was good because I realized I'd read a few of the questions incorrectly. Like, you know how the questions can trick you somewhat?
And tricky words, yeah. Read the question is step one, yes.
So I went through it, and it was like, for example, there was this question about, like being happy at work, happy retirement, how will the self-esteem be afterwards? And I was like, fine. And then on the second re-round, I was like, that's not what they're asking me. They've worded it in such a way. I'm like, I almost guarantee that'll trip up most students, because, do you know what I mean? It's one of those inverted things, sort of. But like I said, feeling relatively okay, but that's not the issue, right? So the following day is the day I think I was meant to speak to you, right? Now, I've already spoken about it on my camera to myself because I'm figuring shit out as I go, right? I knew without a doubt that I was going to need that day, the following day, the Wednesday, to myself, 100%. And I hadn't even realized we had an appointment until that evening, right? So should I have followed the right plan, I would have called first thing in the morning or that evening and left a message saying I'm unable to make the appointment, right? And then not set any alarms, not tried to kid myself that I was going to be smack bang into my assignment the next day, which is what I obviously did. And then, like, I'm on the phone to your receptionist going, I can't make it. And she's like, it's in just over 2 hours. I'm like, call somebody on the cancellation list. She goes, I can't fill it with only 2 hours. I was like, I'm telling you right now. I'm like, if I'm on that cancellation list and someone cancels and there's a 2 hour gap and you haven't even tried to call me, I said, I'm gonna be mad. I said, you call the people on that cancellation list. She's like, but. I'm like, no. I'm like, you fucking call them. I said 2 hours is plenty of time if someone is on a cancellation list, which ergo means in crisis anyway. I couldn't believe what she said. I was like, how can you not see what I'm seeing? I'm like, I fully appreciate what you're seeing. I said, but it negates someone being in crisis, yeah? Which is why I said at the start, if she didn't take my advice, I'm going to be really fucking pissed, because on a cancellation, I'm always on the fucking cancellation list, man. 2 hours is so much time if you're in crisis. Maybe if she didn't do it, just don't tell me, because I will 100% say something to her when I see her next. I have an appointment with you on Thursday.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what's happening with that. Because this is the one from Wednesday. Because I said to her, look, I can't do it. She's like, can you at least do the telehealth? I was like, I have my eyes closed talking to you. I said, I can't even open my eyes to have this conversation. I was like, I admit that I fucked up. I know that I was wrong. I should have called this morning.
When was it?
Wednesday. It must have been.
Wednesday just gone.
Yeah, because it was the day after the exam. And I called, and it was
Wednesday the 19th.
Yeah, I guess so. All I know is I fucked up, but her response of, I'm not even going to try, I was just like I would have said something in my bestest mood anyway. I was out of it and unable to open my eyes, and I just couldn't believe it. And I'm not trying to say it in a rude way. I'm trying to say it in a how could you possibly not even try kind of way. So please, for the love of God, can you let your reception people know that from a patient, client, person on cancellation lists, yet not calling when there's 2 hours is just dumb.
I don't currently have a wait list. I've cleared my wait list.
Well, that's amazing. That's good. That's because you're fantastic at your job, and maybe, you know, but it's
That's not it, but like I cancel. I only have one, and that's you.
I understand that. I'm good. Do you know it's interesting though, because I got up at 8:30 when boss woke me up to get breakfast, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Because as I said, I slept from so what happened was I did the exam that Wednesday. I slept. I still had to get the assignment in, right? And it was due Monday 11:59 by this point. That was the special consideration, right?
Yes.
So I tried to do what I could, and it was like, I'm just going to tell you the story in order because I'm just going to fuck myself up otherwise. But so I'm trying to do it. Nothing's getting done, and it's this feeling of. I remember it was either the Thursday or the Friday. I was at my desk from like 7:30 in the morning until like 10 p.m. Oh no, that was a bit forward. So didn't get a lot done. Me and Graham decided we would study together. I went to his house on this Saturday. Okay, so this is where it got interesting. We both thought that we would have smashed out a lot of work. His house, his home, the environment is, as I keep saying to him, very glad I don't believe in jealousy, because I would be jealous, because it's this warm, inviting, comfortable, happy, loving family environment, right? And they're just such lovely people, yeah? And anyway, they have this area in their house that is set up solely, like they all have their own set desks, like full proper computers. They've all got like 3 screens each. It's like, yeah, set up like a open plan work environment, pretty much. But those are exactly what I need. And like the thing that got weird was they had the family friends, a couple over. And you know, I've been talking about my need to meet people who are deep, because superficial people make me just crazy.
Yeah.
These people were like talking about the things that we talk about, like deep, meaningful, like philosophical. Like I literally had to say, please go away, because I am achieving nothing and I'm supposed to be getting work done, yeah? And then so this is Saturday. I thought I'd smashed out a bunch of work. I was so happy. I stayed way later than I should, stayed for dinner, did this, did that, but in the end did drive home, and they're like fucking an hour and a bit away from me, so an hour and 15 away, yeah? So again, fucked myself on Saturday. Sunday, so much pain I couldn't deal. Monday, I was at my desk by 7:30, realised I've completely fucked myself up because I didn't actually help myself at all while at Graham's. I'd chopped out all the wrong information and basically had to start again, right? I sat at my desk from like a few hours, and this is again when I emailed my unit chair, and I mentioned something about like, this isn't getting done, like I don't know what to do, you know what I mean? Like I'm full blown, like I went to the point that I changed my phone number to private, and like had like the phone number for the emergency site triage like ready to go. Like that's how bad it got. Like I can't understand or explain why, yeah? But then I'd been going back and forth, nothing was happening. All I could do was cry. It was like hours were going by, and it got to 10 p.m. And so I sent a message through to the unit chair saying, look, I've never ever been in this situation before. I have absolutely no idea what is actually happening anymore. I'm on the verge of calling triage. I'm like, I was like, I have worked all day and nothing has been done. Because by this point she'd changed the deadline from 11:59 on Monday to as long as it was in by like no later than lunchtime, she'd still be able to get it marked, because by this point the unit's closing down, everything's getting ready, results and shit, yeah? So at 10 o'clock that night, I sent a message saying, look, I will submit something. I said, but like never, ever, ever in my life since starting uni have I been in this situation. I said, I don't know what's happening. I don't know how to fix this. Like, I will do the right thing. Like, I am safe in the sense that I will make the phone call. I didn't want to make the phone call, but I would have if I had to, yeah? So I wrote like, look, I understand it's 10 p.m. I know you won't see this till the morning, blah, blah, blah. So she replied immediately that morning saying, now, like, the excitement no longer really matters anymore. They're like, we need to know you're safe. She's like, your mental health and your well-being, she goes, is far, far more important than an assignment. And she's like, I understand that these grades mean a lot to you. She goes, but like,
perspective.
Yeah, basically, right? So she's like, look, I'm very concerned about you. She goes, I've passed your details on to the wellness department. She goes, they are going to get in contact with you. They got in contact with me immediately. They were like, we've been notified of the fact that there's a possible safety risk. They're like, can you give permission for us to call you? And I was like, yes. So she literally rang me, like, it was so fast. And
good.
I know, I mean, like, it shows obviously how much they care. So even though I was in this shitty fucking place, like, all this love and support was coming at me. So it was helping, obviously, yeah? And at this point, I had said to her, I was like, look, I said to her, I don't understand what's happening. I said, I am losing time. It's the only way I can explain it. I need to obviously get therapy and something done about that at some point. I was like, but I, honest to God, sat at my desk from 7:30 in the morning until 10 p.m. last night. I said, there's nothing to achieve. Now, by the point I was on the phone with this wellbeing woman, my unit chair had sent another email through saying, I think the best thing that you can do right now is walk away from your assignment. She goes, don't look at it. She goes, walk away from it. She goes, given where you're actually at, she's like, I don't think you're going to get anywhere. You need to step away. She's like, your mental health and your well-being are far more important. So I read the email out to the well-being lady and I said to her, I'm extremely grateful, but however, what's keeping me going is that as soon as this is submitted, I can spend an entire day in bed, because by this point I was so far past it, right? Like, I've told you how I sleepwalked by accident and smashed into the snake tank, yeah? Like, yeah, it's fucked up. So anyway, she was like, I appreciate what you're both saying. She's like, I understand that you still want to keep working on it. She goes, but can you please at least walk away, do something that isn't uni related? And at that point I was like, yeah, sure, I'm sure I can do that. I'll walk my dog, blah, blah, blah. That didn't happen. So this is Tuesday by this point, and again, it was basically a repeat of what happened on Monday, but to a milder degree. So then it got...
So why didn't you?
Because, look, I get what everyone was saying, but in my head, it was like, if I walk away now, that's more things to do with less time, and I don't get to have an actual break until it's done. Because walking away and trying to relax, knowing it's just sitting here not being worked on, there was no way for me to relax. Like, right before this today, you and me, I've taken Boss to the dog park, went to pick up scripts, and I had to stand in the pharmacist for however long, and anxiety hit me out of the fucking nowhere. I almost cried. I had anxiety rising while I'm in the chemist, and she and I know each other from when I first used to go back there years ago with my other doctor, and it was like, I said to her, there's no rhyme or reason why this is happening. And she's like, you've mentioned uni. And I was like, yeah. She goes, from what you've been saying, she goes, it sounds like uni's an actual trigger for you at this point. And I was like, okay, didn't know that. But like, I came home and took Valium immediately and had some like daytime fade just to have like, I don't know what's happening to me, but like, it's like I feel really good and life is great, which is ironic because almost every single fucking person I speak to these days keeps saying life will get better and things will pick up and blah blah blah, and I'm like, I'm stressed out over uni and my friend died. Not once have I said I've got a falling apart life, you know what I mean? So, but I screwed up so big, so big. So I completely should have listened to them. Hindsight, I do see that. Instead, I pushed. I did it on Wednesday. Push. At this point, I was like, go to bed. You need to sleep, because I was dropping again. No, just this internal, like, it's not been good. Yeah, like I've nearly called the fucking triage to take myself into the fucking psych unit like 3 times or so. And I keep trying to get people to understand it's not solely about a unit. It's not about a fucking assignment. Like, I'm not actually crazy. I'm just not coping at the moment. And it turns out on the Thursday, I was like, yep, good, it's all fine. I'm going to get it done. Everything's finished. I finally have the draft. All I had to do was go through the reader draft, edit any grammar, and submit it. Not what happened. So it turns out on the Wednesday, in my absolute exhaustion, should have listened to myself and gone to sleep, I had incorrectly added all the data. Like, none of it matched. None of it fucking matched. I had to start at the start and work my way everything through it. Like, yeah. And the only thing getting me through for Thursday, because at this point it was like I had stopped caring. I was like, I don't care anymore. Fucking life is this, that, whatever. But I was like, I just need to sleep. Like, I'm breaking into a billion pieces and none of this is making any sense. But I had decided that I'm going to start living a life that's balanced. And I may have told you the last time we spoke that Toastmasters is something that I've been extremely interested in ever since I've heard about it. So Toastmasters International is like the proper public speaking or like educational organization, and yes. they have a club where I am that's right around the corner, and obviously I'm not going to announce where I live or what suburbs we're in because I'm recording, but
a lot of them around.
Oh, I know they do. I know. So I was like, fuck this, fuck the world. Like, I'm dying over here because of this assignment, like going insane. So I called the local tennis club and I called the Toastmasters people. The tennis club people got back to me immediately. I've already been down. I've met them, had a game, was gifted a fucking tennis racket. Like, it's all this, pretty cool shit. But the Toastmasters was on Thursday, yeah? And it was not a regular one, it was a contest. And I'd been invited as a guest after reaching out saying, look, this is something I really think I'm supposed to be doing. So on the Thursday, I had given myself I'm not showering, I'm not getting dressed, I'm not doing anything until this fucking assignment is submitted. And I know that I'm going to Toastmasters. I was like, if I don't go, I know that I will be gutted and absolutely just disappointed in myself. Yeah? And in the end, I submitted my assignment at 6:09 p.m. I was supposed to be there by 6:45 because it was starting at 7. I was just like, fuck, still couldn't help myself. Made a 2-minute video going, holy moly guys, you've been along the journey with me. like, obviously. I can't help it, right? I need to document this shit. And there's people following along helping me because I've been losing my mind. And when I can't talk to you and I can't talk to other people, I talk to all of these people, yeah? So anyway, I had to shower, I had to wash my hair. I had so much to do, and I just quickly did
Wash my
what...
hair. That can take a really long time.
Oh, I know, but it was past the point that dry shampoo could have worked. Like, it had to be washed, yeah? Thankfully, this place literally is not even 5 minutes from me. So again, though, they had said 6:45. I knew it started by 7. By the time I pulled up and park, it was like 7:05. Then I had to ask which one to go into. Thankfully, it hadn't started. There were people just talking in groups all over. And I was like, hi, I'm new. I'm so sorry I'm late. And they just welcomed me in and found somewhere to sit. And like, I've already got contacts, people who want to, you know, meet up with me. I've met this, like, the judge happens to be a life coach, and he's like, okay, we've met for a reason. Like, the other guy on the next side of me, he's been a part of the club. He helped, like, create the club in 1981, and at the same time he was like, you probably weren't even born. And I was like, I wasn't even born then. But like, it was all good. But so,
oh my God. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I had the best time in the whole world. I had so much fun that I used the line, oh my God, I feel like the mothership has called me home, to like...
Oh, that's kind of nerdy for Toastmasters.
Yeah. I'm a nerd though, still, through and
So you're
through.
most Toastmasters. I know a number of them. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, these people were unbelievable. I'm watching them because it wasn't, like I said, it was an actual contest. I picked it both times. I can read so well. I was like writing notes as it was going, and I was like, this person and this person, and I was quite pleased with myself. That's maybe a dorky, nerdy thing, but I did pick each of the winners in this, you know, second place people. But yeah, like, I had the best time in the world. Like absolutely is somewhere I know I'm supposed to be.
So we'll go again. Do recommend.
I've already spoken to them about joining, so you have to actually join Toastmasters. It's a one-off $60 fee.
Yes.
She said the only reason you'd have to pay for it again would be if you if you stopped coming for a year or so and then wanted to come back. Each 6 months, the club fee is $90, but because I'm not, like, I'm sort of coming in, sort of, they've prorated it to $75, and then, like, it's this whole educational program and like everything. And I'm meant to have a Zoom meeting with her, but I accidentally forgotten to put it in my calendar. And then that on again, off again client, who's never really sure what he wants, has messaged me this morning saying, are you free Thursday or Friday for a shift? And I said, yeah, Thursday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I am. Friday I didn't particularly want to book one because my results coming out in the morning, and I don't know how I'm going to feel about that, right?
Sure.
And I've sort of preempted it, like, because I've still got units to go, but Graham, on the other hand, this is it. He is now going to graduate. So,
Aww.
yeah, like, he's finished. So when he gets his results, like...
Fabulous. There'll be celebrations to have.
Well, that's what I said to him. I was like, you know, might be fun to have some drinks at yours. And, you know, they've got spare rooms and stuff. But, yeah, like, I guess, like, I've taken my availability from the website for support work down because I've realised I really need to fill my own cup, as the crisis lady at Deakin keeps telling me. And I think you do too, for that matter. And let's face it, I'm quite easily triggered. Like, companionship and social stuff is all well and fun, but, like, it's not all that's involved. These people need more support than that, and I don't have the energy, for example, to have a booking on Friday when I don't know how I'm going to feel. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, part of me is like, just suck it up, and the other part of me is like, no, that could really fuck me up in the long run, right? And Toastmasters...
And it's probably better to take notice of what you need now than it is to book a shift and then on the day have to withdraw and damage the relationship.
Exactly. So I've said to him, look, 10 to 1 on Thursday, I'm willing to do because, as I said, I apparently have an appointment with you at 2 o'clock on Thursday. But that one I'm coming in for. But you just have to agree to let me sit closer to you. Not like clinical, because apparently how my lounge is set up now that I've rearranged it as an office, someone was like, wow, it's like almost clinical setting. They're like, Liv, they're like, everything's so far away from each other. Because remember the last time I came in, I can't hear properly.
You can hear me. Yeah. When do you have another appointment on Thursday? Do you need that appointment on Thursday? That's on Thursday.
Well, that's what I mean, because this is exactly. I don't think so. I mean,
that's too many appointments, Liv.
Yeah, well,
you have another one on the 16th of November anyway.
What day's that?
A Wednesday, the 16th at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, that makes sense because it was like I only just realized because she booked this one in to back for that one.
Let's delete Thursday.
Sweet, good. Okay, well that works because this guy usually wants afternoon shifts, so then I can at least say I'm free now because I'd forgotten that I have a Zoom meeting about Toastmasters at 11:30 Thursday morning because there is so much more involved, right? And I really need to know what I'm getting myself into because even she's like, and this woman, oh my God, I bowed down to her. She's been at Toastmasters for 3 years and she won the competition, like hands down she was going to win. And I being there, it just felt like it was exactly where I needed to be. Like I had more fun at this, this club than I have in as long as I can remember. So yeah, I am definitely joining. And I mean, you should see the bloody fucking spread they put out for supper. It's like insane. Like so for $90 for six months is pretty fucking good to me.
Is it weekly or is it monthly or what is it?
Well, I paid up front. I had to pay $135 or something.
But no, is it like every week or is it every month?
So it's meant to be the first and third Thursday of the month, but I'm not totally sure because that one was for the contest, but there is definitely one this week as well. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, this will be the first Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. So this will be the first Thursday and it'll be just a regular meeting, so it'll help me see through, but yeah, like I'm obviously only sticking to the one unit with uni. Yeah. I have obviously got absolutely no idea what will happen with that second assignment, but I got it in and at the same time got a letter sent to me from the doc, right? And for the first time in as long as I can remember asking all of you wonderful specialists of mine to write me a letter, all I've wanted for so long is one letter from somebody with everything listed because I've got paperwork coming out my flipping ears with it all over the place. And she finally wrote me a letter that I have needed and wanted and just feels like it has validated me in a way that I can't explain. And I'll send it to you so you can have a read, man. And it lists basically everything.
Physical, mental, everything.
All the medication, all of it. So I sent it to Graham. Graham was like, holy fuck, Liv, if I had to take quarter of the amount of medication you do, I just wouldn't even get out of bed.
Okay, so school, here it goes. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Yes, taking a step away and going and walking the dog or doing something for yourself or getting your own spoons, as Spoon Theory says, is going to mean that your paperwork just sits there and doesn't get done. But sitting in front of the computer did not get it done.
Not even a little bit. It made it worse. I literally went backwards.
We say next time, we learn, because we can't change it. It's done now.
Yeah.
Next time, we take breaks. We have, and this is the key for your ADHD, and I think for your perfectionism. Okay? We're going to give you set periods of time that are not going to be longer than 2 hours.
Okay.
That's going to be the study time. Not, I'm going to get up at 7:30 in the morning and I'm going to work until 10 o'clock at night. It's, I'm going to get up and at 9 and I'm going to work from 10, because you have to have coffees, till 12. Then I'm going to have lunch and I'm going to walk the dog. Then I'm going to work from 3 till 6. Then I'm going to have dinner. Then I'm going to do this. Then I'm going to sleep. And we're going to start earlier, and then we're going to reintroduce the motto, good enough is good enough.
I've been really holding on to that one, you believe me, so much, because once it got to that final day, I was like literally chanting it to myself.
It's just got to be done. And now, you know, the pressure is off for results and stuff. We just want to finish.
Yeah.
Because we know that there's not, you don't want to pursue the next, I guess, competitive step that we're going to say. This is about you getting through the degree and liking what you're doing and enjoying it in the part of the process. And that's not what's happening right now.
Exactly. And I still love learning.
Of course. And you can learn, but remembering assignments are not the same thing as learning.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, I become so lost, and the content of the actual unit I've just completed, 100% in my top 3, quite possibly my actually top content unit wise.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of in a way devastated I missed the rest of it. I mean, I can always go back and watch them, but it's not the same. And it's just like,
so then it's going to be about being present when you're being present.
yeah.
Because half the time, you know, you're doing this thing where you're like, you're in the room, but you're not with us, you know?
Oh,
and you're
I know.
in the next thing, or thinking the back thing, or thinking that thing over there. And being in the room is necessary. So doing stuff like stimulating your brain so you have something happening so that it keeps you going, utilizing your fidget spinners and your sensory stuff. And
I've noticed I do that because I made a video the other night and it was after Toastmasters, and I was like, well, obviously I've just spent however many hours watching these, and everything from the fidgeting, the touching, I was so aware of it.
For stimulation to keep you focused. Some people really like stimulation to keep them going. You know, people when they tap their feet and it kind of helps keep them grounded in a room. Like they do it subconsciously sometimes, but sometimes on purpose. You know, you've probably not noticed because I'm on telehealth a lot, but I very rarely sit still.
Yeah, no, okay.
Because I pay attention for an hour.
Yeah, I get that.
Or 8 hours, as the case may be.
Oh yeah, don't you worry. The more I think about being
attention, so we have to do things to keep us here. You know, some people tap.
Yeah.
Some people fit with their hair. Some people play with rings.
Yeah, I do it all. I play with my necklace the most, I think.
Yeah, and the pens, click, 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 pens.
See, what you just said is what I really need to figure out how to do, which is just having a kind of routine, because like I want to be able to use Toastmasters, for example, the way I need it to, which is obviously to actually teach me. You know, I need to be able to have set time to work on that program, and the tennis club.
I want to move you as far away as I can from the constant expectation of doing self-improvement.
Okay.
Sometimes you just need to go and enjoy it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say.
I don't have a purpose.
I feel like I don't have enough hours, whereas I'm losing hours. Like I'm missing something. Like I want to be able to fit in a couple of games of tennis a week. Like the guys pretty much said there isn't a club that you can join as yet. We're trying to create one, or as more people get interested, because it's only juniors right now. But he's the president. He literally gave me a racket. Like, this racket is beautiful, and he's just like, have it. And I was just like, wow.
How about instead of giving yourself a to-do list, why don't we do it more retrospectively to give you a sense of accomplishment? Because I find that you're always looking at the list as being a forever, never-ending to-do list, because that's life, right? What if we did it differently, and for a little while we get you to focus retrospectively? Tell me the things over the last week that you've accomplished.
Okay, I can do that. Just last night alone, I vacuumed my kitchen, hallway, and laundry, which has been driving me crazy, and I've been putting it off. I've done a load of washing.
Hope it's not on the line.
I actually physically can't hang my clothes on the line. Haven't been able to for years due to the pain levels it causes. I use clothes horses. I did something new actually. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot to tell you. I realized yesterday, because I had slept for all of Friday basically. I think I woke up long enough to make a 20-second video to go, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm going back to sleep. But yesterday I woke up and I was just in so much pain, and I thought a soak in the bath would be a good idea, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm upping my self care. Actually, this was Saturday, sorry. And there's a local sort of swimming pool centre with a spa and a sauna and shit around here. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go sit in the spa and sit in the sauna. And that's what I did. And it was so nice. And it was just went with myself. And I don't know, I just...
Near where you are or near where I am right now? Tell me where that is later.
I will tell you afterwards. Actually, I might even end the video. I'll make another video later. People, see ya.